Well, FAU's already got a 1,000-yard receiver 9 games into the year, so just when you see that, it's got to open your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, he's an impressive young man. I think he leads all of NCAA football in receptions, 84, 87 receptions, over 1,000 yards in 9 football games. And certainly they work the football to him all the time. I think he has 121 targets, 33 of those on third down. Just a lot of different ways to get the football to him, and that doesn't include the handoffs and reverses that he's getting. So he is definitely their go-to guy. We better know where he's at all times and pay a lot of attention to him. The thing they do that's unique with him is he don't just play to the field or to the boundary. They move him around, motion him around, stack him around, and find different ways to create matchups and problems for you. So, we've been doing a really good job in practice of identifying who number one is and working hard to make sure we know where he's at all times and find different ways to maybe double him up and get different guys on him. And obviously, they got some other good receivers as well. 0, 8, can get up and down the field on you. The tight ends are good, and they do a good job throwing the ball to the running backs out of the backfield as well. So, the quarterback's threw for, I think, around 1,500 yards right now. Threw for over 2,000 last year up at Central Michigan. He's a transfer from there. Didn't start out the year as a starter, but has since filled in and done a really nice job running their offense.
I know you're not pleased with some of the things in the UTSA game, but how about the bounce back that your team showed? How proud were you of that effort against Tulane?
Yeah, I thought our defensive guys played really hard last weekend and did some good things. I think that's the lowest output Tulane had since 2021, going back 2 years. I think I think coming into the game, he mentioned, he wasn't here 2 years ago, and that was his worst offensive performance. We were able to hold those guys to 1 offensive touchdown and 2 field goals. And I think that's, a day that you can, going into the game, you can say if you could do that against Michael Pratt and that offense, you feel really good. There's some certain situations there, obviously, we would like to clean up and play a little better and create a turnover, give our offense some field position or go score and give ourselves a chance to win. The end of the game especially, you'd like to get off the field there on third down. And Pratt's certainly a really good quarterback. I think I just seen him accept his Senior Bowl bid to the recent Senior Bowl the other day, and certainly worthy of it. And one thing you can say about him, he wins football games and puts his team in a situation to win football games, and he certainly did that Saturday. But just can't say enough about the way our guys are fighting defensively and the way they're going at it. Had a few guys get banged up, but we had other guys step in and step up. And, some of the guys, that's in a way that some other guys had to play a few more snaps. Some new guys had to take a new role on. We thought they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, I was going to start getting kind of banged up in the secondary and moving guys around. So how do you think that the depth has helped there and guys just filling in different spots?
Yeah, it's been going on for a couple of weeks in the back end. Tegan Will, Omar Rogers out, and you have to move Joyce Wood around. Datavius Nash is playing his first couple of games and getting comfortable right there, and you saw a huge improvement. Jordan Huff, requiring more snaps out of him, and I think those guys have done a really nice job back there. Obviously missing some guys, but I think those guys are stepping up, and you've seen them get more and more comfortable as the season goes on. Joyce is now playing; it'll be his 4th game at the boundary safety. You can see him more comfortable. Dontavius and Jordan. The role for them is even bigger, and you see them taking that on, and you see their athleticism, catching up to where their football IQ is and getting comfortable back there. So that's helped, and it opens the playbook back up too, defensively, what we can do. When it first happened in those situations, going back 2-3 weeks ago, Charlotte and UTSA, it kind of limits some things what you can do. So you try to limit and make sure you limit mistakes, and now you're back to where you can open it back up and feel comfortable with it. So just really excited about that for our defense.
You mentioned a change in roles, obviously the untimely injury of Jack Powers and the unfortunateness of that. Do you see Sam Danka getting a more expanded role now with him kind of going out?
A couple things about injuries. When an underclassman gets hurt, you hate it for him and you feel for him, especially if they're out for a while or out for the season. But you always know they have that extra season or extra couple seasons to play. When a young man like Jack Powers pours so much in this program and so much in our team and cares so much about this game, and you see him go down, it breaks your heart. Just because it means so much to him, this team means so much to him, and he's put a lot into it. And, feel for him because that's his last snap. And you never know as an athlete when that last snap is, so we always talk about, playing every snap like it's your last snap. And Jack certainly played that way, and certainly did last Saturday. I think even after tore his pec there, played a couple more snaps and tried to go as much as he could. But Sam Dank is ready for the opportunity, and he has been. And we've been working him in, and he certainly will step up this Saturday and play big for us. There's no doubt in my mind.
Deontay, I mean, he had a great game at nose tackle, and just his play, but also his energy he brings to you guys. What does he mean to your defense?
I think that D tackle, D line room has really stepped up the last couple of weeks. I mean, you've seen sacks out of those guys, and even in situations where they're having to bring pressure or bring guys, and they're getting sacks, beating guys one-on-one. And like you said, not only the way he's played on the field the last couple of weeks, but the energy, the leadership, those guys, and especially him in that room, bring to our football team and bring to our defense. They don't flinch. They come to work every single day, knowing they got a job to do. Something bad happens. Hey, it's next snap mentality. Something good happens, it's next snap mentality. And Big Tay has been right there in the middle of it, and been a big part of why at times defensively played really well this year on defense.
We saw B.J. Davis have a good game as well. Just a couple, pass deflections in the red zone there too. I mean, what do you like about his versatility as well?
We always pick one of those off, but he gets his hands on them and does a good job. Just his length back there in the red zone. Right before the half, helped to a field goal. I wish that clock would go a little faster in that 1 second going off there, and it'd been 10 points instead of 13. But he's done some really good things this season, and I think you're seeing some really good football out of him right now, and I think you'll continue to see that this week. And it was really just getting more and more comfortable this season, and his confidence is growing. And you're seeing an older guy who's played a lot of football and shining out there, and he played, I think, around 60 snaps on Saturday. I think with the injury to Kingston McKinstry, we had to move Mike Edwards out to Sam, and that created more opportunity for B.J. Davis. So you had those guys on the field together, and I think B.J. shined out there and did a really good job.
As we get here towards the end of the year, you can play guys and they can keep their red shirt. Any names come to mind on the defense? And what are those conversations like with the staff? Coach Houston, like, hey, can we get this guy in for a play?
Yeah, certainly been able to hold some guys off in those rooms from a freshman standpoint. And you're trying to redshirt them, and you get the last 3 games. This guy's played in one game. You're trying to figure out which 4 games to play him in. And right now it's a go time for a lot of them. I mean, Dwight Johnson's, the last couple of weeks been working in practice, but you can see hey, it's week 3 of working with the 2 deep that he's looking like, hey, he knows what's going on right now. Greg Turner's another guy. Julian Davis has showed up on special teams. Those are the 3 guys in the linebacker room. Pinball, one of our safeties, we call him Pinball. Clark, he's done a really good job back there. He's just flying around. And if you guys, have a chance to hang out with him, you'd understand why we call him Pinball. Don't fist bump him; he'll put a hurting on you. I learned that the hard way. But those are guys that are standing out as young guys that haven't had a whole lot of time yet. But I think over the next several games, you'll see those guys on the grass defensively for us.
Coach, y'all have lost a lot of games this year. We all haven't given up many points, and I know that's been frustrating for everybody. But defensively, as a room, have you had to address that at all, or has it never been an issue as far as effort and that sort of stuff?
We talk about pride in our effort. We talk about pride in the things we do defensively, and I think that's where it starts. If you let something else outside of what you can control affect how you attack your job, or you attack this game, or you attack what you got to do in life, then it's a pride thing, and you don't have much pride. And that's what we talk about defensively. We got to focus on us. We got to control what we control. And defensively, that's our effort. That's our attitude. That's our toughness. That's how hard we play, how well we execute. And that's what we got to focus on. And we got to find ways defensively to give ourselves chances to win ball games. And I think this is a opportunity this week in a stadium that we won a game in last year, so our guys are familiar with it, to go play with edge, go attack these guys, go play as hard as we can play, see if we can create some negative plays, see if we can create some turnovers, and put the ball in the end zone, put the ball across the 50 and give our offense a chance to score and set up scores. So that's what we got to focus on defensively. And, did a pretty good job defensively last week, but we didn't give, our offense the ball across the 50. We didn't create a turnover. So we got to keep focusing on those things.